guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with PhantomStrider, and, well, we got an old video of his called the 10 biggest fast food scandals. So, yeah, turns out McDonald's, Burger King, all that, not even scandals, which, despite their reach, not that surprising. So, shall we learn more about the biggest scandals from these stores? Be sure to subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's check it out.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Fast food companies practically invented corporate scandals.
I don't care about the children. I just care about their parents' money.
So it's no surprise there have been many times where companies like McDonald's, Burger King, and Subway have gotten into hot fire. From mystery horse meat to $3 million coffee lawsuits, let's see what bizarre scandals ensue. Let's check out the 10 biggest fast food scandals. And as always, as long as you're not hurting anyone, I welcome your opinion. Agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Feel free to leave your opinion in the comments. Anyway, let's begin.
Let's begin.
Number 10.
up?
The McDonald's $3 million coffee lawsuit. You might have heard of this boiling coffee
They said it's
lawsuit
a million,
before, but I believe hearsay has skewed the reality of the case quite a lot.
This story is the most widely misunderstood story in America.
Essentially, a woman sued McDonald's way back in 1992 because the coffee she spilled was too hot. Now, on the surface, this may just sound like your average money-hungry customer going,
I demand to talk to the manager. This minor annoyance has caused me irreversible psychological damage. Give me money. Now.
But actually, there's a bit more to
Not
the
that
story.
close.
What you might not have heard is that Stella, the 79-year-old widow, didn't just ruin her pants. She suffered third-degree burns over 16% of her body.
I screamed, not realizing I was burned that bad. I knew I was in terrible pain.
It may just be spilled coffee, but she was in hospital for a week afterwards and was required to have medical attention for 2 years after. Even skin grafting was required.
Oh no!
Oh yes, and it wasn't until McDonald's failed to reimburse her $10,000 medical bills that she actually sued. McDonald's offered for her medical bills $800. I don't know, $800 whole dollars. Maybe the multi-billion-dollar international conglomerate is getting a bit too generous there. And what was McDonald's excuse in court for their coffee being this hot? They said if it's not served at temperatures so searingly hot that it causes third-degree burns, that it wouldn't taste as good.
It was an industrial standard based on the maximum extraction of the flavor and the maximum holding temperature.
I mean, it's not like any...
Like, are they nuts? Like, if I heard that, it'd be like, lady, coffee shops don't serve it that hot. Like, if you got a coffee shop that does that on the regular, I'll let it go. But even I'm pretty sure that's not true. I don't drink coffee. Like, Jesus Christ. Also, isn't styrofoam supposed to stop the burns? Like, why do you serve it that hot? Like, good lord. Like, no wonder they got sued for $3 million. Like, I would have made them pay $5 million at least. Like, sheesh. Like, 2 years with skin grafts. Like, good lord. Like, that's just messed up. And them only offering $800 for medical bills. Like, dude, really? And before anyone asks, no, she wasn't driving, as some people were saying. She was actually in a parked car with her was it grandson or son? I don't remember. Anyway, one of her kids was driving when she spilled the coffee. Actually, wasn't driving. They were parked. So, yeah. I mean, sure, it would have been an accident if it was not that freaking hot. But still, skin grafts, dude. Ouch. Anyway.
Anyone's ever actually, I don't know, spilled takeaway coffee. No, that never happens. In fact, it was reported that 700 other people had already complained to McDonald's about injuries from coffee served around 85 degrees Celsius.
I was not in it
That's
for the
nearly
money.
200 right there.
I was
Jesus
in it
Christ.
because I wanted to bring the temperature down so that other people will not go through the same thing I did.
As a result of all these facts, Stella's family won the case. And due to all the injuries the coffee had caused, all McDonald's coffee around the world was lowered in temperature by 10 degrees Celsius. So, still very hot, but less scalding 75 degrees Celsius, or 167 Fahrenheit. Oh, I only hope people can still enjoy their mediocre burnt McDonald's coffee when a better coffee place isn't nearby. And
just out of curiosity, did you ever get harassed? Like, I can imagine, like, with the smear campaign they pretty much did in the media on her, I would have been surprised if the lady just got, like, harassed. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, she should have had a champion, but nope, just a running punchline for frivolous lawsuits. Which, by the way, wasn't even that frivolous here. Like, dude, you scold a lady with searing hot coffee and only offer $800 of compensation? Bro, like, seriously, did she not send a copy of the medical bill or something? Because that's the only reason I could think of why she didn't, or why they didn't offer more. Like, I mean, at that point, if I was running the shop and that happened, I would be like, oh, yeah, just give us the bill. Here's everything you need to pay for. And just, here's my number in case anything else comes up. Let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I hope whoever made that decision of $800 got fired. I really hope so. Anyway.
Coming in at number 9.
Just saying. Like,
Burger King contains horse meat. I don't blame you if you think this sounds like conspiracy hyperbole, but hear me out.
Kinda does.
Back in 2013, investigators did find some meat suppliers were mixing horse meat in with some beef products.
Tesco.
That is profoundly sad.
And what was one of the top companies involved with this meat supplier? Yep, Burger King.
Burger King.
When Burger King was investigated, horse meat was discovered. Apparently, very small, trace amounts of horse were found in their burgers. But it is worth reiterating, it was trace amounts. And burgers actually taken from the restaurant tested negative for horse. But some customers were mad, and they shouted till they were hoarse.
There you go.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway,
Thank you.
a lot of reputation damage was done from these claims. You could say Burger King had a lot of naysayers.
It's worth every penny.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'll stop. This tainted food crisis threatened customers' confidence in Burger King. I still remember hearing about it years ago when I ate at Burger King and thinking, hey, I signed up for cow, not Bojack. But it's also important to say, health authorities said there was
Signed up for
absolutely
cow, not
no
Bojack.
danger to consumers. To some degree, flesh is flesh. Horse or no horse, you'll be fine. The vice president of global quality at Burger King had this to say about the horse meat scandal.
The company is deeply troubled by the findings of our investigation, and we apologise to our guests, who trust us to only source the highest quality 100% beef burgers. Our supplier has failed us, and in turn, we have failed you.
But honestly, props to Burger
seems
King for
honest,
not trying to
but-
conceal it or deny it. They admitted, contrary to what
Yeah,
their
that
meat
one's
factory
definitely our
assured
bad
them,
moment.
their
Just
restaurants
should've
had been
double-checked.
linked to the horse meat
Oopsie.
scandal. And personally, I don't always expect that kind of transparency from massive fast food conglomerates. In the end, Burger King tried to keep worried customers happy by switching to less horsey meat suppliers. So when you hear rumors of Burger King and horse meat, that may just be leftover hearsay from this crazy scandal back in 2013.
True, nearly 11 years
Number
ago.
8.
Sheesh. Next.
The Krispy Kreme Club is born, and club is spelt with a K. Oh my.
Oh.
Either Krispy Kreme has a creepy white supremacist club, or someone in the naming department needed to be fired.
But not pointing the fingers, they could have been done better.
That's a name that catastrophically backfired. Catastrophically with
Let's
a K.
see, but-
You see, back in 2015, a UK Krispy Kreme store hoped to bring in new customers with a new club. A donut decorating club they'd call the Krispy Kreme Club, with a K. So to make sure customers knew about their fancy new club, they advertised it on
stick with the KK
Facebook.
Club? I don't
Krispy
know,
Kreme
but
brings
still,
you
you think-
KKK Wednesdays. But the intention was innocent enough.
Come on.
KKK Wednesdays were intended to be a series of planned events for children during a week-long break from school, such as donut decorating. When fans politely pointed out that the club shared a name with the Ku Klux, the store immediately ended the promotion.
You make a beeping noise when you back up like that?
But, how did no one in advertising notice that? When The Guardian directly asked Krispy
Seriously,
Kreme
no
about
one
the
thought to be
promotion,
like,
a spokeswoman
guys,
for
we're using
Krispy
the name of
Kreme
Hate
said,
Group, get rid of
Krispy
it.
Kreme apologises unreservedly for the
Yeah,
inappropriate
whoops.
name of a customer promotion at one of our stores. Sorry.
an unintentional mistake, but jeepers, that's one whopper of a mistake.
Maybe
And for
it's
seven
not a
lucky
Burger
seven.
King. Number 7?
The Subway chicken is not real chicken. This scandal was
Okay,
just a
this I
miserable
heard.
fail for Subway in every sense of the word. So back in 2017, I watched this CBC Marketplace video. And in this video, CBC looked at the DNA analysis are various different fast food chicken sandwiches, ranging from McDonald's, Subway, Wendy's, and Tim Hortons, my dad's favorite restaurant. They also did a blind taste test on all these chickens to see which chickens customers prefer the taste of. And, well, Subway did badly on all accounts in this test.
See, visually looks like fabricated.
Kind of does, yeah, that's something.
Not only did Subway chicken score lowest on the taste test with all customers, but it turns out their DNA analysis said that Subway chicken had the least amount of chicken in it too, with apparently less than 50% chicken in their chicken strips. This doesn't necessarily make it unsafe or less healthy than the others. It just means it has filler in it that isn't meat. In this case, the chicken strip filler was soy. For months, CBC requested interviews with Subway about their chicken, but they were ignored repeatedly by Subway. We'll come back to that. So, CBC aired their video, and oh boy was Subway furious. Gee, Subway, maybe you shouldn't have ignored Canada's news department for months on end. They could have very quickly cleared this whole thing up. Instead, Subway filed a $210 million lawsuit against the CBC. Because apparently, public broadcasting just has too much money. Subway even individually sued the producers and host who worked on the show. Yeah, real classy, Subway. Subway alleged that CBC Marketplace had unfairly damaged Subway's reputation and hurt sales. Subway even fired back their own study to prove that their Subway chicken was real chicken. They claimed that the CBC studies were flawed. Eventually, the lawsuit was dismissed in court, and Subway waddled away with their tail between their legs. The judge also ordered Subway to pay CBC $678,000 in legal costs, fees, and reimbursements. Again, Subway, I remind you, you could have just not ignored CBC and just answered their questions. You could have potentially cleared this whole thing up early. Maybe they could have reached a peaceful agreement and done that second DNA test with CBC. Instead, they just acted like jerks and smeared their own reputation. They made themselves look like a complete bully to the public by suing the CBC and various Canadian citizens. I don't always side against fast food joints, but in this case, I think Subway earned this smear. And from my own personal perspective on this CBC Marketplace video, even if the CBC test wasn't 100% accurate, I didn't really care that much. Personally, I don't care if Subway's chicken is more chicken or soy. Soybean is still perfectly healthy, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as it tastes okay and is relatively healthy for fast food, I don't care. As for the show itself, personally, I love it. I appreciate CBC Marketplace trying to keep consumers safe for over 50 years now. That's dedication. I'm sure no one on CBC is ever watching this, but props to you and your team anyway.
Yeah, honestly, Subway really kicked themselves in the nuts there. I mean, like, think about it. Like, you have a show that basically says, hey, we did a DNA analysis and your chicken's not chicken. I would have been like, okay, I'll be honest, we did soy because it was a lot cheaper and also adds more healthy options for the chicken, you know? Like that, not just ignore them, and when it hurts sales, sue. Like, sue was supposed to be your last option. Like, come on, Subway, what are you doing? Like, I don't know if this was just part of Canada's, like, big problem then, or at least just Canadian Subway or globally, because, I mean, at that point, I'm surprised there wasn't, like, more shows going to, like, okay, better go check my states and see if they're doing the same thing there. Like, I'm kind of surprised when people heard about that, no one was like, wait, is that the same thing down here? I don't know, did they? Like, I actually do remember they also did the same thing with, like, Kobe beef, and I think the lobster rolls, too. So, yeah. That is saying a lot. CBC, you know, it's pretty crazy what they'll go into, you know? Anyway, moving on.
And for number 6.
What do you got?
Expired meat is sold to McDonald's and KFC. This one actually takes us way back to 2014 in China, where undercover reporters from Dragon TV snuck in to film an American-owned Shanghai meat factory. Inside, they discovered employees changing the dates on expired meat with their bare hands, and even processing food that had fell on the floor. Ew. They then sent this super dodgy expired meat to restaurants. as you do. When KFC and McDonald's discovered this, they were not pleased. KFC immediately dropped the supplier, though McDonald's kept the supplier but just changed to a different meat factory. Hopefully one with some slightly more regulated hygiene standards. The entire incident saw KFC and McDonald's have a major hit to their reputation. Even their stock suddenly plummeted up to 4%. That may not sound like a lot, but when we're talking a percentage of millions of dollars, that's a lot. What did the responsible meat factory OSI have to say? They said they were appalled. Appalled at being discovered, maybe. We have zero tolerance for compromising food safety. We believe it to be an isolated event, but we take full responsibility for the situation. Food regulators in China were furious too, and immediately shut down the factory. A similar food safety scandal happened in China way back in 2012 when there was a new strain of bird flu. And of course, other not-so-nice viruses have reportedly originated in China too, according to the National Library of Medicine anyway, which I consider a trusted source. Anyway, in this case, 10 people in China ended up jailed over the incident. Their charges were supplying expired meat to McDonald's and KFC. Apparently, the whole thing happened because of an angry, dissatisfied employee. They saw the terrible things that were happening in the factory and let news reporters know. And lucky for us, they managed to film it and let the world know about this factory's dangerous behavior. I feel like this one ended on a bit of a downer, sorry. How can we improve it?
And that's the way it is.
Ah, yeah, that's much better. Thanks, honey. Next one. And for our 5th fast food scandal,
Number 5.
Taco Bell's mystery meat. Ooh, more mystery meat. Back in 2011, Taco Bell had a lawsuit filed against it. Basically, the lawsuit issue was that Taco Bell's seasoned beef didn't contain enough beef to be actually called beef. And you know, beef not actually being beef, that is going to bother some people. USDA standards needed Taco Bell beef to contain more beef. But instead of beef, the meat contained more oats, seasoning, and fillers than actual beef. Now obviously, it's something dangerous to eat in their meat. Oats are perfectly fine. I have them every morning. They're just not, you know, meat. And Taco Bell uses their non-beef beef in everything. Tacos, tortillas, nachos, gorditas, and whatever else they can stuff in it. And at first, this lawsuit hit Taco Bell's reputation pretty hard. Like, people had real beef with this beef. Controversy on Taco Bell's beef was everywhere. For a while, it wasn't that weird to have someone at Taco Bell tell you,
"Hey man, did you know Taco Bell beef is practically vegan because it has so little meat? Man, I'm just so smart."
So Taco Bell hit back with their $4 million real beef campaign, refuting the allegations. Like this ad here, where the ad brings on employees to speak about the company. It's a bit scripted, but I get they're trying to be transparent and it gets a point across.
If anyone should know about our seasoned ground beef, it's me. It's me.
I believe in the quality of our seasoned beef.
Our seasoned beef is 88% premium ground beef.
They even straight up listed all the ingredients of their beef on their website, and I do mean all of them. Though this resulted in controversy as well, as Taco Bell tried to use layman's terms to explain the long list of other ingredients in the beef, like maltodextrin, sodium phosphates, and cellulose. Chemicals like these are actually found in all types of everyday foods to help give them their taste and smell. For example, if you gave a banana an ingredients list, it would have some ultimately harmless but scary looking ingredients. If you do have a friend who's obsessing a little too much about those artificial chemicals in food, maybe remind them that all food has chemicals in it. Hell, you and I are an amazing collection of chemical reactions. Chemicals aren't that bad. Natural ingredients aren't necessarily healthier or any different from ingredients made in a lab. Cyanide is a natural chemical. That doesn't make it good.
Calm down.
But my rant aside, props to Taco Bell for trying to be transparent and explain their ingredients. But unfortunately, despite their best efforts, Taco Bell's mystery meat reputation has never fully recovered. Number 4.
You can see that. Next.
Lost my feel for these. McMillions. Well, here's a bizarre scandal. One ex-cop steals $24 million from McDonald's over 12 years. This guy was chased down relentlessly by the FBI as he got together a network of mobsters, psychics, strip club owners, and drug traffickers to do what? He stole McDonald's Monopoly stickers. Okay. So you've probably seen the McDonald's Monopoly promotions before. Chances are, on some country in the world, one's going on right now.
There's still time to play the Monopoly game at Macca's, but time's running out. Play the Monopoly game at Macca's today.
They've been known for many names, such as Monopoly Pick Your Prize, Millionaire Game, Golden Chances. The games have had a lot of names. They've been actually running this Monopoly promotion since 1987, so a long frickin' time. Basically, you peel off these tokens from drink cups and fries packets to see if you won a prize. By completing groups of properties like Baltic and Mediterranean avenues, players could win prizes like cash or maybe even a game console.
Now you're playing with power.
Instant win prizes could score a free filet-o-fish or maybe even an entire Jamaican vacation. But in 1995, prizes ballooned from thousands of dollars to a massive $1 million prize. That's over $1.7 million today, or half a house deposit. And much like the Monopoly game itself, these properties could be traded to get a match. Some were put into massive bidding wars on eBay. Armed robbers even held up restaurants demanding Monopoly tickets. Nah man, don't go for the cash. The real money, that's in the Monopoly pieces. It sounds stupid, but it was true. Customers flooded to buy food to get more pieces, and Monopoly quickly became McDonald's most profitable marketing device since the Happy Meal. And that is saying something.
Collect all 10 toys, each free with every Happy Meal.
But back in 2001, a company was hired by McDonald's to organize and promote the game. But they failed to recognize that their chief of security, Jerome, was able to remove the most valuable game pieces while he was carrying their sealed box. He must be a master of disguise. How did he do it? Well, he hid in the one place his female auditor couldn't follow him. The men's airport toilet. Classy. He then passed his toilet.
Wow. I mean, the fact that he just went to the bathroom, like, it was that boy to be like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, be right back in a minute. Just be like, okay, let's just get down. Yes. Did he just, like, carefully reseal it? Like, how did she not know, or at least whoever was with them, like, how did they not notice, like, the box was, like, probably different from when they saw it? Like, I mean, at that point, like, you'd think they would double check, but apparently not. Whoops. Anyway.
Toilet treasures onto friends so they could redeem them and all share in their toilet profits. But an undercover FBI investigation was underway to discover the conspiracy of who stole the Monopoly game pieces. When the FBI finally tracked Jerome's crime ring down, he justified his long-running multi-million-dollar crime as his reaction to executives rerunning drawers to assure high-level prizes went to United States rather than Canada. Oh, so he was like a modern Robin Hood. He took from the USA and gave to Canada.
Hey Josh,
Yeah? What do you mean he took it all for himself?
Of course.
Then why did he say that? What a complete goose. And Jerome's crime network managed to steal these valuable McDonald's prizes for 12 freaking years before finally being arrested. And needless to say, when the public found out, they were not pleased. The whole fiasco caused a public backlash to McDonald's. Millions of customers realized the games had produced hardly any legal prize winners for the better part of a decade. To make up for the previous stretch of tainted games, McDonald's announced a special $10 million instant cash giveaway, with that total split among 55 different winners who were chosen at random. The McDonald's CEO had this to say about the giveaway.
McDonald's is committed to giving our customers a chance to win every dollar that has been stolen by this criminal ring.
More double.
And for...
Actually, now I think about it, remember 24 million in 12 years? Yikes, I think I would have just gone double, not half. Like, make him pay for it, you know? Or at least pay it back and then reimburse, I don't know. What did you guys do? Yeah, I went a little too far about that one. Whoops. But still, kind of blame McDonald's for, you know, some guy who found the cheat code, I guess. Shouldn't people be like, find him and kill him? Or something like that. I don't know where I was going there. Anyway.
On number 3, McDonald's sneaks meat into its vegetable oil. Throughout all its history up till 1990, McDonald's has openly stated it cooks its fries in beef fat, so basically lard, which is like the worst thing for the human body ever. But after some pushing from consumers, they did eventually switch to vegetable oil. At first, I didn't quite understand what was so controversial about this switch, but then I remembered some people like their fast food to be vegan friendly, and some vegans were not pleased to discover that McDonald's vegetable oil had meat in it. Not that I personally mind, but why do we need meaty vegetable oil? Apparently on the fries ingredients, the natural flavors item included beef products.
These are McDonald's fries. And this is everything that's in McDonald's fries.
When this was discovered, the company was sued by 3 vegetarians. They avoided meat due to their personal religions, and they weren't pleased. McDonald's countered this by saying it never claimed its fries to be vegetarian, but McDonald's eventually settled the lawsuit by donating $10 million to various Hindu groups, and that seemed to settle things down.
It's time to settle. I saw the current offer. The clients make their losses back, plus a solid chunk of change.
The people ended up satisfied, and McDonald's ended up poorer. Happy endings all round. Nice short scandal with a nice simple ending. What's next? And for our second fast food scandal, Subway bread is not bread.
Okay,
you just couldn't stay out of trouble, could you, Subway? Bread can't just be, you know, bread. What do I mean? Well, in 2020, the island courts ruled that Subway bread has so much sugar in it, it can't legally be defined as bread. In a legal dispute about staple foods, the court found that Subway bread had too much sugar to be able to be classified as a staple food. Basically, they saw Subway bread as more of a confectionery, like a donut, not, you know, bread. And when I first heard this, I was like, really? Most bakery foods are like cracked to the brain. In fact, I barely taste the bread unless they put meat, sauces, and salad on it. How do they possibly hide all that sweetness in their bread? But I discovered why this might be. A spokeswoman for Subway from my own country, Australia, said bread served in Australian Subway restaurants was formulated especially for Australian guests. The dough was prepared by Australian suppliers. And apparently, our Subway bread in Australia is classified under Australian nutritional guidelines as low sugar. It's also worth mentioning that Ireland has much more stringent standards than the USA on what can be classified bread. Though at this point, USA is so lax on sugar that I suspect they could classify a donut bread. In the USA, Subway had this to say about the court ruling.
Subway bread is of course bread. We have been baking fresh bread in our restaurants for more than 3 decades now. We have bread that smells as good as it tastes.
Well, maybe if you're really into the smell of cardboard, no judgment here. Honestly, I probably eat more at Subway than any fast food restaurant on this list, so no judgment against Subway's food. And I think the number one biggest fast food scandal is Supersize Me. It's hard to get across just how big this story was. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you've watched or at least heard of the Supersize Me documentary. You might have also heard of the massive backlash from both McDonald's and other people. This documentary on American obesity majorly dented McDonald's reputation. And while the company's reputation has recovered now, it took years for it to fully recover the infamy it gained from this documentary. In fact, even Simpsons has parodied this documentary.
1 month of eating Krusty Burger and nothing else has transformed me into a morbidly obese, toilet-busting American.
Basically, filmmaker Morgan Spurlock wanted to ask in this documentary, is fast food really that bad? So he ate only McDonald's for his meals for 30 days.
Would it be unreasonably dangerous?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, oh jeebus, yes. As he goes on to his McDiet, Morgan's physical and mental health plummet like a rock.
I woke up, felt like I was having heart palpitations.
I felt depressed and exhausted most of the time. My mood swung on a dime.
Within 5 days, he'd gained nearly 10 pounds. And by day 30, he'd gone from a perfectly healthy 32-year-old man to gaining 24 pounds, 11 kilograms, and a dangerously high cholesterol level, and doubling his risk of heart disease and heart failure. His doctors got very worried very quickly.
These numbers are absolutely outrageous.
The results were pretty disastrous, to say the least, and the documentary quickly became synonymous with McDonald's. Both customers and employees were all talking about it, and this affected McDonald's reputation a lot. In fact, within 6 weeks after the documentary aired, McDonald's permanently discontinued their supersize option, and that was a long-running option they had had available since 1992. Though McDonald's claimed the reason it had discontinued the supersize option was because it took employees longer to prepare the supersize order, because the order was bigger. Yeah, that's how bigger orders work, McDonald's. Bigger orders take longer to prepare. Seriously, Mickey D's, no one will care if you just admit that this documentary put your reputation through the toilet. There were many critics of the documentary, also McDonald's obviously included. McDonald's UK responded by saying that Morgan intentionally ate too many calories and didn't exercise enough. But he did exercise the average 5,000 steps a day your average American walks. McDonald's also made a website where they criticized the film. They advertised, see what we agree with, see what we disagree with. You might have heard McDonald's say, we heard you before. I think this is essentially a nod to the backlash caused by this documentary. Honestly though, props to McDonald's for not pulling out some sort of lawsuit like Subway and trying to silence the critics. I guess they were smarter than that. Even far away in my country, Australia, Super Size Me was a massive success at the box office, and it appears McDonald's saw this as a crisis for their Australian reputation too. After the documentary, I noticed McDonald's in Australia started to advertise more healthy choices. They even launched a Your Questions campaign, first in Canada, then Australia, where they tried to be open and transparent about their ingredients. They even got the late and great Grant Imahara from Mythbusters to look behind the scenes at their nugget manufacturing. And honestly, there was a lot of hate for this campaign, but I personally never minded it. I appreciated McDonald's trying to be more transparent with its customers. Morgan also did a sequel to Super Size Me, where he looked at the health halo effect in advertising. Modern fast food joints often hide their foods behind a veneer of healthy advertising. They'll put a bit of salad in there and use words like fresh and natural and handcrafted, gluten-free, cage-free eggs, all that jazz. And they tend to use more pristine, fresh, green-looking colors. He discovered nowadays it's less about the food's nutrition and calories, and more about how it's made and how it's presented. Some critics of the documentary claim that Americans already know that fast food is unhealthy, which I guess is a fair criticism, but I think hearing a food is bad for you is very different to understanding a food is bad for you. For example, understanding by seeing the effect that food can have on a person over 30 days. But regardless, Super Size Me had a massive impact on McDonald's, and to this day, I still don't think we can fully get the effect it caused. And that, my friend, brings us to the end of our scandals list. Over the decades, there have been an absolute boatload of these scandals. And if you think I missed any scandals, you have an opinion on these scandals, or you just want to say hi, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to see something very weird, I recently published the PhantomStrider iceberg video for my members. My fiance and I have also done videos on the worst fast foods, or the most hated and loved junk foods. If for a couple of bucks you'd like to try joining the member community, you can click the join button below, or the link in the description. But regardless of that, thank you for watching.
Also, sorry, I was waiting for it, but what do you guys think? If I gotta remember Super Size Me, well, didn't in the documentary he, like, anytime, like, they were offered the supersized, like, option, he had to take it? I think he kind of set things up to be overblown kind of in that direction. Like, I know it's bad. I don't eat McDonald's every day myself. I mean, even though I'm kind of picky. But you get it, right? Like, I mean, it's definitely going to the extreme type of, like, fast food binging. I mean, to be fair, if you diversify your food, you'll be fine. But if you just stick to one food and it has to be McDonald's, yeah, I might go low, because, yeesh, rough. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Honestly, it does feel like it's kind of gotten blown up, but let me know. Till next time, see ya.